Hi, my name is Karen Cowley. When I was a kid, my family ate a lot of leftovers. Now, that's not a very interesting fact. I mean, what family doesn't? But my mom, being the clever woman that she thought she was, just couldn't call it leftovers. She called it WYSIWYG. Right around now, you may be thinking to yourself, what the heck is WYSIWYG? It's an acronym. What you see is what you get. Clever, right? Well, the thing is, WYSIWYG applies to so much of life, including me. What you see is what you get. My name is Karen Cowley, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself. First of all, why did I become a teacher? Well, I've taught for 22 years, and to this day, I still find middle school students fascinating. There's such a mixture of almost adult and these kids. I mean, it's cliche. They push you away and they want to be guided. It's so true. You know, it's learning the finesse of making a relationship with some of these kids who are just the hardest kids to make a relationship with. And when you get it on one day, it's just magical. Those are the reasons I've become a teacher. Now, why Crestwood specifically? I teach at Brooklyn Middle School, which is a northern suburb of Minneapolis and still somewhat inner city. Before that, I taught in a Hmong, which is an Asian uh, magnet school with a lot of ethnic African and African American students. Before that, the list goes on and on. I have taught in highly diverse schools almost my entire career. Crestwood would feel like home. There's very little there that would surprise me or move me. I'd probably just fit right in. Now, why would you want to hire me? Well, I have a lot of different characteristics that really fit in well with a middle school teacher. Um, I have an innate way of figuring out pretty early on how to interact with each student. Some students just need gentle nudges. They just you highlight them and they freeze. But if you kind of a little more subtle about it, they flourish. And other kids, they need you to tell it how it is. Get out in the hallway and quote them verbatim and say, "This is what it makes me think about." And I understand which students which need which kind of students need which kind. Um, Professionally, well, my years speak volumes. 22 years, I've taught 7 school districts, I believe. So 7 different grading programs, 7 different curricula of either math and or science. 22 years of seeing students, watching the culture change, being immersed in it while aging. So, feeling how the relationship is changing. I just bring a wealth of experience. Last thing I want to talk about is my favorite math concept to teach. And when I read this, the very first concept I thought of is something I've taught on the first day for years and years and years. It's called Mobius strips. And I'll talk about that another time, but then I wanted to challenge myself because that's always my go-to answer. What kind of lesson did I do last year, this post-COVID, that just spoke to me? And it was this one, it's about I think it's recursive exponents. It's decay. And it was basically, I had a room full of bouncy balls and eighth graders. And A, I have to say bouncy balls. And B, you know how bouncy balls react, right? So at the very beginning of the lesson, I was honest with the entire class and vulnerable. I was like, guys, I've been nervous about this lesson the entire year. And I held up my bag. I'm like, can you guess why? And the kids totally got it. And it was a magical day. I got every single bouncy ball back. Not a single one was thrown. Not one hit the ceiling. And this is an inner city school with 75% free and reduced lunch. Many students of color. I mean, clashing cultures, and it worked. And that's why that was my favorite concept from last year. So there's a little bit more insight into me that you might not get from a resume and a cover letter. So my name is Karen Cowley, and thank you for watching. Hope to see you soon.